Last but not least, as they say, which is a common phrase, Marianne Zeller, you never know what comes out of the mouths of babes. You never know what comes out of the mouth of babes. Marianne Zeller.
How many of you grandparents out here love?
Oh, we need the mics.
How many of you grandparents out here love being?
Move it closer.
How many of you grandparents out here?
Put it in your mouth.
How many of you grandparents out there love being grandparents? Well, I know when I became a grandma, I loved it. And I didn't realize, though, that my grandkids would have history about me that I didn't know. My granddaughter, Patty D. Ann, was going to school out at Edwards Air Force Base, was in the 4th grade. And she called me one night and she said, Grandma, I need some help. I need some information because I have to do a speech in school. I said, okay, what do you need to know? She said, well, tell me about the time when you were in that big boat that sunk in the ocean. And how did you get rescued? I said, what boat? She goes, well, Grandma, it was a ship. Don't you remember? It was called the Titanic. Oh my Lord. Daddy. Okay, let me think about this. Well, Daddy, I was standing on the bow out in front of the ship as it went sinking into the ocean. And I looked, and the big waves coming at me. And I thought, what am I going to do? She goes, but Grandma, she says, didn't you have someone there to rescue you? I said, no, I rescued myself. I looked down, and there was this cute little dolphin swimming by the boat. And I jumped into the water, and I caught its fin, and it swam me all the way to the shores of San Diego. Oh, Grandma, I'm so proud. I said, yeah, it was a nice little guy. So she said, I can do this now and tell him at school. I said, yeah, you do that. Well, I'm learning history by myself. Then, a couple of weeks, now Patty's graduating, have 2 kids are going. Well, we went to Texas a few weeks ago for my other grandson's wedding. My other grandson from South Carolina came out with his 4 little ones and his wife. And then we rented a car and we drove out there. Well, I went out around the house where they were renting to wait for the wedding. And the 4 little ones were in the swimming pool. So I sat down beside on a rock and watched them. Pretty soon, Mackenzie, who is 4 years old, going on 5, came out, sat down beside me. She goes, Grandma, I'm so glad to see you again. I said, hi, Mackenzie. I said, I just saw you a few months ago in South Carolina. She goes, I know. She says, I wish you could go swimming with me. I said, what do you mean? She goes, I wish you could get in the swimming pool with me, but I know you're scared. I said, why am I scared of a swimming pool? And now, mind you, I mean, this is a different great-grandkid. And she said, well, Grandma, I know what happened to you. I said, what do you mean, what happened to me? And she goes, well, you know, she says, you can't go in the pool, I know you're scared. I said, I can't go in the pool because I gotta keep my hair nice for the wedding. Well, then her brother, who's 10 years old, Cooper, came out. And he goes, hi, Grandma, and gave me a big kiss. I said, hi, Cooper, how you doing? He goes, oh, she's telling you about why you can't go in the swimming pool, can you? I said, what do you mean? He goes, because we know what happened to you. I went, okay, who you been talking to? And he says, well, you know, when you guys came out this last summer, and Auntie Dawn and you and I played cards. And I went, Okay, just wait till I get back to California. I said, my daughter's gonna love this. She's not gonna love seeing mommy come home. So, yeah, no, I didn't really sing on the Titanic, believe me. I mean, I know I'm old, but anyway, my other grandson was there with his dad, and he had rented this great big truck, pickup truck. So when we went out to get into the car, I couldn't even get up onto the seat, it was so high up. I said, I can't get up there. So my grandson was 19, came around, picked me up, sat me up in the seat. And I said, you know what, we're using our rented car to go to the wedding tomorrow. And he goes, no, you can ride with us. I said, no. I said, I can't get up there with the dress on. He goes, don't worry. So the next day, they came out and said, ready to go? I said, we're going to go in the rented car. He goes, don't worry about it. So we went down from the hotel, went outside, all these people standing around. They had the pickup truck sitting there, that big, big one. I went, He goes, don't worry, Grandma, I bought you an early Christmas gift. He went around the back of the truck, opened it up, came back around. He had a stepladder. He said, this is your early Christmas gift for you. He said, now you can take it home too and use it when you go and get dishes out of the cupboard. I said, thank you, DJ. I really got to need this. Grandkids, great grandkids. What can you say? Can't live with them, can't live without them. I still love them.